Hello and welcome to USTS, the Ultimate Sports Training Show. I'll be your host for today's show, Bob Lemire. Joining me on today's show, man with many hats, especially in the sports world in Drake, Mass. Been around for a while and great with the town youth, and I'm going to let him just tell us a little about himself before we get going, Mr. Gordy Scott. Welcome to the show, Gordy.
Thanks, Bob. Glad to be here. When you reached out to me, I was kind of excited. It's my first podcast.
There you go.
So
yeah.
wow, this is good.
Yeah, and it was the funny thing is we just said we've been talking for a couple minutes. My wife says, "Don't it's live." Well, don't screw up. Hey, thanks for saying that to me, Di, right before I leave. But yeah, so just tell us a little about yourself, and we'll go from there, Jordan.
So I've been involved with. I moved to Drake in 1999. Married my wife. We moved to Drake and. Right off the bat, my son he was really good at basketball. He had a nice shot. So I didn't really know a lot about basketball other than I played when I was growing up.
Right, yeah.
And then I went to a couple of my neighbors' games, met a few people there. They said, hey, we're really short on referees. So I took the referee class.
Oh, you had to take a class.
Yep. And so I did that and then really got to, I played basketball in high school. But it wasn't good.
Oh, come on! Yeah.
I
can tell you're a humble guy, and you just by watching you on the DAT, What's Happening Drake show and all the shows you've been on and stuff. And
so my son was a pretty good player, so I got into coaching. Studied a lot online. A lot of the resources online. Watched some videos. When I was a kid, I went to a basketball camp with a coach from Cuba City, long-time coach in Wisconsin. I think he has like 2,000 or something like that, crazy wins, and he was really a good coach. Yeah. So I watched a lot of his videos. He retired a couple years ago. I think he was 87 or 88. So kind of that's where I attribute all my coaching talent is kind of from him, watching a lot of the stuff that he taught me in camp and, a lot of his stuff online. So I started coaching my son when he was in second grade and went all the way up through high school. I actually started my own AAU program, Merrimack Valley Fury. That lasted for about 3 or 4 years while my son was in high school because there was really no other option to play basketball.
Jesus. Yeah.
And then it was a lot of work. It's a lot of time commitment.
Imagine. Oh, yeah.
And then after that, this past year, I coached the varsity boys basketball for Drake.
Oh wow!
For the summer and fall leagues. We struggled a little bit early on. We were 0-7. I went to the coach Dave Parent. I don't know if you know Dave.
I've heard of Dave.
And I said, well, look, we got to change this up. I know you want to play man-to-man defense, but it's not working too good.
Yeah.
So we switched to zone defense, and it really worked well. We went 8-3 after that.
Wow, there you go.
So, and then we continued that in the fall. I think we were close to 500, and I think Dave won 6 games this year. They only won 1 last year. So
there you go.
So it was this, a small improvement.
Is Drake a smaller school compared to a lot? Or
we play, and our schedule is very difficult. We play. I think the 4 of the top 5 teams in the state we played on our schedule.
What do you do?
So,
but I mean, as you play a lesser team, wow.
And the enrollment in the schools is very much down. I think what I've seen over the past 25 years is the kids just aren't playing basketball or any sport really.
Really?
I don't know if you knew where the football program we had to combine with Innovations Academy this year at Drake. So the enrollment in sports across the board, I think, is really diminished.
And is it because the whole town is the population is just as what it used to be, no, or smaller?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's changed too much. We've been around 30,000 for as long as I've been here.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know if it's just a lot of elderly people are living in Drake now, and not as many younger people with kids.
But the population in the school it's
gone down a little bit. It hasn't changed. I don't think it's changed that much dramatically. Maybe 8%, 5 to 8%.
But it would make a difference, girls and boys too.
Right.
Yeah.
And girls has been when I first started refereeing and coaching basketball. The girls program was just as strong as the boys.
Right.
In the past, probably 8 to 10 years,
Yeah.
there just hasn't been as many girls teams.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed, funny enough, recently, the past year or two, the girls program is really making
Picking
a
up
comeback.
again.
Yep.
Well, you know what's funny, and Taekwondo. We were big in the '90s and the '80s and '70s. Big. Then in the 2000s, come along, started doing everybody, not just my school, and it's like kids and society. I think they change, and we don't even realize it because we think it's going to stay the same the rest of our lives.
And technology is a big part of that.
Technology is killing us, one thing.
Yep.
But there's other sports that are catching on, and they can't do both.
Right.
Or maybe they can, but it's just a lot for the kids.
It's hard to be a 3-sport athlete nowadays.
Oh, yeah. Back in the day, you could.
Right.
And now they
That's what I did when I grew up.
Yeah.
I played. I was
Everything.
in cross country, I was in basketball, and I was in football.
yeah. And-
But that's why I was really never really that good on anything. I was fast. I could run.
Right.
I could run like a deer.
right.
But it's just if you don't focus. And I focused my son in basketball. He played all year round.
And that's it. Yeah.
And he was good. You know.
Yeah.
So
now they got the camps for year round for that one sport.
Right. Yep.
And but to me, if you can play basketball, you can play football, you play a little baseball. Wow, it rounds you out.
Right.
I mean, think about the coordination. You've different coordination in each one
different
of them.
coaching. Different.
Everything.
Different teammates.
That's right.
You know.
And so you were on the Drake rec board for 10 years.
Yes.
I wrote down a little bio of you that you gave me, and the former Drake basketball president.
Yep.
20 years coaching and refereeing.
Yep.
I just asked you, and I don't know if it's taboo, but you, I hear retirement down the road, but I don't know. You got too much energy. I think you love it too much. I think you're trying to please your wife, or please somebody.
Well, no, she wants me to keep going.
Oh, good for her. Yeah.
It's just, I think I overdid it this year. I think I did too many games. And when it comes to the point where you don't enjoy it,
You get tired.
you get tired.
You got to work. You got a
Right.
full-time job.
Yep. So I really enjoy coaching. That's where my love is. I still love that.
Yeah.
It's the refereeing thing that gets, and I still like to referee.
Right.
Because I love the game, but it's just too much. I think if I go next year, it's not going to be as many games. Like on Sundays, I was doing 6 games a day.
See, I got a million questions because everything you do is, and I've played sports my whole life, so it's easy to ask you these questions because to coach, are you refereeing in the same league, and how could you do that?
Oh no,
You do.
Oh, yeah.
How hard is that? I mean, think about the complexities of a team going, "Oh, he's reffing our game now," and his team's the first
that
place.
was there.
Well, you've seen it all. If you've reffed that many years, you've seen it all.
Plus wearing both hats, it helps because when I'm coaching, I know all the referees, so they know that I know all the rules, so they can't try to pull one over on me,
Right.
so to speak, right? So, and I think there is an advantage to that. I think that having that relationship with other referees, and you really do gain a relationship with the referees that you work with. It just how can you not?
No. How can you not? Yeah.
But when they see me on the sidelines, if the ball goes out of bounds, 2 guys tap it at the same time, I'll give that one to Gordy. You know what I mean?
You can't do it too many times, though. No. You can't. Well, that's one thing about I used to do a little, very little, when I say umpiring for baseball, because my son was playing baseball. Oh, what an unthankful job, and I don't have. You have to be. You got to be hard inside to take the criticism, because it's always the ref's fault why the team lost.
Right, exactly.
Our team would have never lost if that Gordy Scott wouldn't have called 12 fouls on my son.
Right, exactly. And I still see that today. I mean,
of course,
when I first started, I took a lot of that stuff. I just listened to it and I said, you know what? These people have nothing better to do than to. But now I don't deal with it. So they. And I get it, like, hey, that was I thought that was a travel, whatever. They scream out, that's travel, that's double dribble, whatever. That's fine, but when they start getting personal,
and it is.
You suck.
Oh, yeah, that's fun,
Then I stop the game. I blow the whistle, stop the game. I go right up to the person and said, you got 2 choices. You either stay here and the game is over, or the game continues and you leave.
Wow.
I let you choose.
Wow.
So if you want to stay.
And the kids lose on that team? No.
It's a forfeit. Forfeit.
Wow. So
I don't. That's what I do now, and it stops.
works. It works.
You do that once. I go and a lot of my games are in Drake-It, so I
Right.
go to Drake-It, and now they know. They see that happen once, and they say, "Don't, Gordy's ref, and don't say
If
that."
the other
Don't
referees must see it working.
Oh, yeah.
It's got to
Oh, yeah.
work.
Yep.
Because there's no other reason why your team loses.
And I
except for
I could take up the whole hour.
I
telling
know you could.
stories.
That's why. Oh, you got a billion stories.
Yeah.
Well, being a coach, you're on one side, and even yourself as a coach, what's this ref doing? I mean, there's good refs, and then there's so.
And you
I mean,
know
but
which
that's
ones they are. It doesn't take long to figure it out.
good umpires, but that
Yep.
goes all the way up into the NFL, into the Major League Baseball. You got some good ones. Then you got some like, what's going on with this guy? But that's their style.
But you got to get, and the thing is, you got to get started. I worked a Central Catholic game this year, JV game, and my partner, I could tell, just wasn't. You kind of have a little bit of a swagger almost.
yeah.
Like you know where to go, you know
Right.
where to stand, you know how to talk to the coaches, know how to
But
talk
if you
to
get
the players.
nervous,
And I could tell this guy was very nervous. So I went up to him. I said, "You okay?" He goes, "Well, this is my first year of officiating basketball." I said, "Really?" And I go, I go, this is a JV game, like, right?
Yeah,
Like this is, it's Central Catholic and Lowell, and Lowell's like the number 2 team in the state,
yeah.
So we did the game. He didn't blow the whistle hardly at all till the second half.
Yeah.
And the state interpreter happened to be at the game.
Wow.
His name's I forget his first name. I call him Boots. It's
Yeah.
Boots Boudelier.
Yeah.
So he came up to me after the game. He said, "Who was the guy you were working with?" I said, "Well, it was his first year." And he goes, "How can that happen? How can the assigner?" I said, "It's self-assigned, so we actually can go up on a website and just take the games. But you're supposed to take the ones that you can actually do."
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
But a person, when you're a first-year official, you got to do the youth games,
Yeah,
the travel
do it. Yeah,
games,
you get used to
in-house.
it, and you will get used to it. You get used
Right.
to it, like anything else.
Yep.
Anything else, but that would be tough because now your calls do make a big difference, which they do
yeah.
anyway.
Right.
But your calls, if they're wrong, can cost. But that's any time yourself, and over the years, I did make a bad call that time.
Oh, yeah,
all right.
absolutely.
But and the worst thing now is we get replay.
Everyone's taping the game.
If they're not taping it on their phone, they're on DATV or they're on somebody's got something going. So you don't have here. Let's watch it again.
Right. So, and we obviously can't. They haven't instituted that rule in Massachusetts yet, at least at the high school level, to go to the videotape.
Right.
But you do know that. I mean, I've worked with guys, and I try to be as down the middle as I can. I don't want to say, hey, I'm going to give Drake all the calls, and the coaches expect that.
Yeah.
But when you're everyone's video, you're on a camera everywhere. So, and I've worked with guys that'll call. It's so obvious that they're calling. I'll go to Haverhill, and the guy that's roughing the game's from Haverhill.
Yeah.
It's so obviously he's calling everything
that's-
against the other team.
yeah.
It's like,
And
okay.
when you get to championships or playoffs,
Right.
people are passionate.
Yep.
I mean, and
that's their Super Bowl, right? That's how I take it.
right. And their kids, and they're looking for their kids to get scholarships and to be known as that's why that team did well, and now they lost.
Right.
And they wouldn't have lost if the referees. Oh, that's been going on for 100 years.
Yeah, and I have actually 3 games this weekend at the Drake-It High School. It's the in-town league is their championship games. So
do you get nervous, real nervous, or you just so used to it? I mean, after 20 years,
yeah. Now,
you know the rules.
when I was in my 3rd, 4th year, I would
Right.
say, yeah. Even though it's a in-town league,
Right.
it's not really.
right,
It doesn't really mean much to me personally.
right.
But to the kids, this is their this is
Super
their
Bowl.
thing. This
Yeah.
could be their biggest moment in their
In
life.
their life, that's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right, yeah.
To win, to get a trophy
Yeah.
at the end, and you want to do the best job that you can.
That's right. Well, yeah, and that's why I'm saying I read you were coaching for 20 years, and sometimes that's a thankless job too. I mean,
Yep.
the people who will always and I always notice this, the people who have the most to say are the people who do absolutely nothing, but they're going to give you advice on the
Oh,
side,
yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying, right?
Yep.
And every year it's a different person because kids are growing up and you're constantly moving around, I guess, and some will follow you around. But as I used to watch my son play football, he played for Greater Low. He played Pop Warner his whole life, then for Greater Low, played well. I'd listen in the stands, and what I heard in the stands out loud is an embarrassment to the poor kid.
Yep. Absolutely.
An embarrassment. And there were stories after story of kids just wanting to quit, and they have good athletes because mom and dad were crazy in that stands.
Yep.
Or
Well,
whatever.
and their meaning as well. I think they want the
Yes.
best for the kids.
Right.
They don't, but
You can't have the kid hate the game.
sportsmanship has to, yeah.
Right. So as a coach, I would imagine, because you look like you're a humble guy and you're laid back. Yeah, is that how you coach, or what kind
No,
of?
I'm crazy.
You're hard. You're a hard.
Oh yeah, I scream the whole time.
Oh, cool.
I mean,
But they
I
know.
don't, not at the officials,
It's-
but at the players.
yeah.
Tell them do this, do this.
Right.
You're lazy. I'll
Right,
tell them,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
you're lazy. Come
Right.
on, get up.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they need a little motivation sometimes.
yeah,
because
absolutely.
everyone, if they're not pushed a little, just gonna. All right, I'll just. Why go crazy?
And that's what drives me. I see these coaches across all Drake sports,
Yeah.
and the ones that are not. You have to put, in my opinion, you have to put as much work as the kids are putting in.
Right, in the game.
Right. So, in a few years ago, I was roughing. I started all over. So my son got all the way through. He went all the way through college. He's working now. But I started back over. I took teams all the way up to 8th grade, and then I'd start over at 4th grade, and I was planning to have my second team and work all the way up through 8th grade. But then I got cancer.
Oh, did you? I didn't
Yep.
know that.
Yeah, I had prostate cancer.
Oh,
So then my wife's like, "Look, you can't go through this."
right. Yeah.
Coach, ref, it's just too, and
Right.
work, so you can't,
You
can't
drain
it's,
yourself right
it's
out.
too much.
Yeah.
So, so I had to concentrate on myself for a few years.
And remission and everything.
I'm-
Good for
everything's
you.
good, yep.
Good. Congratulations.
so now I'm back. So Dave Parrott reached out to me, asked me to coach in the summer, and I, what, and when you do it in the middle of the season, you're like, you hit yourself in the head, say, why in the hell am I
'cause
doing this?
no
this
time
is
for
so much.
yourself.
Yeah, this is
No
so
time
much
for
work.
yourself,
But over the 20 years, I've done. You know who Jackie McMiniman is?
I know who he is. Yeah.
So she's for the she's ESPN.
Oh, all right.
She's on all the TV stations. She's
Okay.
a writer for Boston Sports.
All right. That's not who I'm thinking. There's a McMiniman in Drake. Another one.
And I coached her son. She's from Westford. She lives in Westford.
yeah.
And I coached her son when I was running the AAU team. And just 1 year, I coached him. But I ran into him three or 4 years later. I didn't even recognize. I didn't even know who he was. I'm like, he came up and hugged me, and I said, "Who?" I go, "How do I know you?" His name's Connor. I said, "Oh my God, Connor, you look totally different." I didn't even recognize.
They grow fast.
They grow, yeah.
Yeah.
So when that kind of stuff happens, then it makes it all worth
yeah.
it,
Yeah. I believe me. 50 years I've been teaching, practically 50 years of martial arts, and kids when they were 8, and now they're 48, or they're.
And you don't recognize them. You feel
See,
embarrassed. But
well, because I've been in this area for 68 years. I've been in Drake and Lowell. In Drake almost. And Mr. Lemire, I says, hi, how you doing, buddy? You don't know who I am. No, you don't remember me. It was 30 years ago, 35 years. No, you were 6. And look at you today with your 18-year-old kid or whatever it might be.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you almost feel like a father figure to them. So
Yeah, and they're happy to see you.
You never lose
Thank
that
you.
bond.
No.
You never lose that bond.
They're happy to see you.
Yep.
And you know you did something well. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You instilled something in them. And then it carries over into your work life. And to work, and I know how believe me, my schedule like you work all day. You're working here and there. I mean, you're IT engineer.
Yep.
30 years. So you work full week and then coach. And the wife says, "When are you going to fix the garage door? You're going to fix the fence?
When are you gonna paint?"
Yeah. When it stops raining, honey.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Well, it hasn't rained in a month. Yeah. So now you're contemplating retiring, or you just
kind
don't
of like
know?
Tom Brady right now.
Wow. Well, you don't have to do both. Although if you're doing one, you figure you do both.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go. I talked to my wife. We'll sit down at dinner and we'll talk about it. I think I'll go another year for sure, but I won't do as much.
Right. You don't have. Well, if you're coaching, you have to do it. But if
Right.
you're refereeing, you just
Right.
yeah.
So I haven't really decided. I think my long-term goal is just to be a coach, and then at some point I'll stop refereeing, because I think it's that rapport you get with the kids, I think, is important.
Right.
And again, I can't tell you how many kids have come up to me and hugged me and said, thanks for
you.
coaching me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for caring.
Yep.
And a lot of kids, you don't know, but you don't know their home life. You end up to be their father figure. You
Right.
really do, especially if they've done well. Thank you, coach. Thank you. Nice job at the end or whatever. Or maybe, all right, let's get going, guys, for the next game. And they need both. They need both. You know.
And I always my thing when I coach is I use an acronym WIDTH, WIDTH. So it's work hard, improve, do your best, try your hardest, and have fun. Those are the.
There you go. Nice.
So and the kids will come up. I'm still doing my width, coach. I'm still doing my.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for you. And did you end up coaching your son? Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. That's
That's
tough.
hard.
That's tough.
That's
That's really tough. Yeah.
And I have another coach. My wife says I'm not playing my son enough, but I try to always. I think I probably discriminated against him a little bit more than I should have, because I didn't want the appearance of that I'm favoring my son and playing him.
That's tough. Yeah, I can only see that would be wicked tough. Yeah.
Yep.
And then if you tell them after, if you did this, and then they don't want to hear it, they're done with the game.
No, he was good.
Yeah?
He was really good about
good.
it.
Then that's good. Yeah.
And it's good when you have a strong team. We were like in 8th grade, we were 32-0.
Wow,
we
you
didn't
got to
lose.
be kidding me.
Yeah, so
That's wow. That a record? That's got to be a record.
well, I don't know.
32-0.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Jesus.
Yeah, we won the Merrimack Valley.
Jesus.
So I think
nice.
when I coached them in 4th grade, we won 3 games. We were 3-16.
Yeah.
We went from 3-16 to 32-0.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. You think?
Yeah.
That's let's get the kids together. Same team? Not the
Same team all the way up.
Wow,
We added,
Jesus.
added a few kids.
Oh yeah. But you're almost playing the same kids anyway that you've played before, and
Yep.
boy, that's an attribute to the coaching staff and the kids. Everybody working together.
Yep.
Now, what's your biggest thing? Making sure that they're in shape.
Yeah, run.
They got to be in shape.
Got to be able to run.
If they're not going to be, they could be the greatest basketball players in the world. If they can't hold their wind.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I focused a lot on ball handling and shooting. Those
Right.
are the 2 things. You think you need to pass, but
Right.
to me, it just comes natural. You got to get the ball from point A to point B,
That's
and then I'd go over things like how do we do that? Best do it. Like when it
Right.
goes in the paint, you got to bounce pass. You
Right.
don't want to throw a chest pass when it goes into the paint.
Yeah.
There's a couple things like that, but most of it's ball handling.
Yeah. And practicing your dribbling, just practicing.
That's it.
Constantly have that ball in your hand. And keep going.
Every practice I run, everything's 15 to 20 minutes ball handling. That's
Nice.
it.
Wow.
Dribbling the ball.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when I coached the 4th graders who are now freshmen, when they would go to camps, and I know Brian Myers is a coach in Drake. He coaches at the Voc now.
Right.
And when all my kids went to his basketball camp, he's like, "Wow, they can all dribble at 4th grade. They can all dribble." I go, "Because that's what we work on."
And that's big.
Yep.
Because they're not traveling. They're not scared
Right.
once they got the ball.
Turnovers kill you.
Oh my God! Yeah.
That hurts you.
Yeah. That's but that's because like I say, I've grown up in sports my whole life, and I've seen so many different types of especially baseball and football and basketball, so many different types of ways of coaching, and there's being stern and making sure they're doing it right. Like just for a short time, I wrestled with Coach Bossy. Bossy, George Bossy, and greatest in the world. I mean, toughest man I've ever met, and he's short little Marine or whatever, and he's tough, but just loved, and winning's fun. You know what I'm saying? Winning's fun, and kids know if you start winning and the coaching's good. Wow, we're gonna get Mr. Scott again. Yeah. Are you still so? You haven't? Have you been doing? And I haven't seen it in a while. I've been crazy at night. I'm still working. I'm not fully retired, so. And I always watch the What's Happening Drake. You're still involved with the What's Happening
I'm
Drake.
still on the show.
Right.
I've been off because of basketball season. John
Okay.
Zimney still coaches. I think this year might have been his last year. He coached at St. John's Prep.
They're going to a
hockey.
championship or something, aren't they?
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
he's been busy with that. I've been busy with
Right,
basketball.
yeah.
I think the shows will start picking up again.
Oh, okay, all right.
Now,
because
coming in March.
I've noticed it's like Phil's been on there.
Yeah, he's run a couple of them,
He's
but I
like-
just can't help.
You're not there.
I'm
You're busy.
busy.
Yeah.
every day of the week, pretty much.
And you got to work.
And there's a shortage of refs right now, so
Oh,
it's
geez.
it's really bad right now.
So you work 5 days a week?
I
Month-
work
or do
my
you work
regular
from
job
home?
5 days a week, and I ref during
Right.
like between December and February, end of February. It's 6 days a week refereeing.
You must sleep well at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to
Yeah.
go home, you got to eat, you got to get ready for the next day.
And what they do now is we normally high school games would be Tuesdays and Fridays, but they can't do them all now because you just can't get all the games in just because of holidays and
Oh, yeah,
school
yeah.
breaks.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
Yeah.
now they break them up and the freshmen in JV play on Mondays and Wednesdays now and Thursdays. Some
Right.
schools are Thursdays. So it's pretty much every day of the week. And every weekend is gone for me
Yeah,
because I'm reffing youth games.
right. Well, then, and so, because I know when you do the DATV, you got to kind of do some homework.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Gotta
why.
do some research. Watch the selectmen, board of selectmen,
I'm
school
surprised
committee.
you.
Queen.
I mean, you're well known in Drake. Well known. You ever think of running for any?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Well, that's emphatic no.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, because I mean, as even if I watch these shows and I've seen you on the show many a time. By the way, me and Gordy just met for the first time today.
We're friends on Facebook.
We're friends on Facebook, and like I say, how does that happen? You're friends on Facebook, but you never met the guy. But and so it's almost like you know each other when you are friends on Facebook. You can't have an idea what the guy's doing.
Right.
That's why I saw you for the show. I wanted you for the show. I said, this guy's been around, and the stuff you're doing. I don't know how long we've been Facebook friends, but I've been with almost everyone at DATV. What a great place, isn't this?
Yeah, this
is
is
a
awesome.
jewel. And
These guys are great. I mean,
oh my God, it's a jewel that I don't think too many other states or towns have like
and
this.
I took AV classes in high school. They didn't even have a building or anything. It was the high school students that ran it.
That's
all.
right.
So
that's right. That's
I was
where I
at a
started.
school, so
Yeah. I started my first shows in about 1990. 1990, I started up in Pelham. Then I come over to Drake it in the high school. That's where DATV was, right?
Yep.
The very first one.
Right.
Then we moved around. We started bouncing all over the place.
Oh, Gary can come in and give us a full.
Oh God! Well, I'm going to have Gary on the show in a couple of weeks. Yeah, we're going to talk about all the old time stuff because I've known Gary from way Comcast in Boston. I used to work out with Brian Gary and my son and the American Builder Show and stuff. So that's why I met Gary. But did you ever think? And a lot of times I bounce around here because if it's in here,
Yeah, sure.
I don't want to lose it. I write just so much. Did you ever think of doing a basketball type of show on? Because that'd be cool. They get the truck, bring it to the court, and you do drills. You show drills and for kids.
Actually, I did think about it. I thought about kind of a reality TV show where, like, I would tape my as I'm coaching.
Oh yeah.
Tape
Be
like
different.
a show, like during practice, during
Sure.
the games, and
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of having a
Have someone to start the
yeah,
whole thing.
follow
up.
the team.
Sure, yeah, that'd be
I did talk to Dave Perrin about that, and he said he kind of wants to keep his coaching private. Like
That's the
doesn't
thing. Yeah. It's a lot of people.
because there is some locker room talk that happens.
No,
you know, believe it
yeah,
or not.
No, I know, and even believe. But the thing is, you can always edit.
You can always edit.
You can
right?
always edit.
Right.
The thing is, it would be a great show, and you can't do the show just with you though. I mean, cameras are on you, cameras are on the kids, cameras on you. He's not in it.
Right.
It'd be a great show.
I know.
But the show I was
It's
in,
a lot of time though because you have to go to every practice. You got to be, I think it would be worthwhile. I'd love to see a show.
right.
There might be one out. There might be a couple out there. It's kind of like the Hard Knocks with the NFL.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like
Right.
where you see the inside, you get to see behind
Right.
the scenes what happens in the practices, and you'll notice when, in the youth, when fourth grade, like the kids that play fourth grade travel, the parents are there every day because the kids can't get there,
Right.
and the parents aren't really comfortable, like dropping the kid off and coming back
Right,
and getting them.
right, yeah.
So fourth and fifth grade, you see the parents are all there, so they see what happens with the coaches and
Right.
what you guys work on
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And then when it gets to sixth grade, seventh, their parents are like, drop them off. They're in.
Because they've had it over there, and the kids are old enough.
Yep.
Yeah, I was the same way with my little son when he was. I would stay and watch every practice football, especially football, when you're 6 and 7 years old. I want them to know what's going on. A lot of things I didn't like, but that's the way it was. You can only be so rough with a little kid. But as you get older, they don't want you there. All right, Dad, you don't have to stay. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah. And the one thing I learned as a coach, you have to have that meeting with the parents up front. It's just, you have to. And I pass out some material and I say, look,
Pick your kid up.
this is travel basketball.
Pick your kid.
Right? No, not that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
this is travel basketball. Here's the playing time.
Yeah.
Here's what you are to expect.
Okay.
We're in it to win.
Yeah.
But I always provide 25% of the game time
Right.
for kids. So there's 4 8-minute quarters.
Right.
So they get to play 8 minutes in the game minimum.
All right. That's nice.
Unless they don't show for, unless
No,
there's
that doesn't
some.
work. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah.
So, and then you go around the room. Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, oh, yeah. That's great. Oh, wow. This is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I go, just remember, right, this moment,
Yeah.
remember this, because
It's gonna happen.
5 games in, you're going to see, you think little Johnny's not getting enough playing time.
Right, yeah.
And I told you, he's going to get 8 minutes. That's all I can gonna guarantee anybody.
Right. Right.
But it's funny to
8
see.
minutes is a lot in a game.
And then then I have the parents come up to me. Well, I wrote down what time he went in, and it was only 7 minutes and 49 seconds. You didn't give me. I go, okay, I'll make up the 11 seconds at the next game.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing is, the game's over, the practice is over, everyone's gone except for little Johnny. Parents will be there in another 45 minutes.
That happens, but it's not that bad.
Not that bad, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Believe me, I remember. I've seen it, and I've had it with myself.
And you can't leave them.
No.
And then, you can't really give them a ride home, because then that there's a line there, right? You can't.
No. Well, I remember, and I had to make, when I was teaching Taekwondo all the time up in New Hampshire. There's a blizzard. There's a blizzard outside. I'm there closing the school up. All of a sudden, parent comes by. This is a true story. Parent comes by with probably a 5 or 6 year old child, throws him in the door while I'm in the other room. I come out and I go, whoa, there's not going to be no class. There's a blizzard out there. The kid goes, my mother just dropped me off. She just left. And I'm like, all right, what's your phone number? Or I forget what it was. There was no cell phones at the time. I couldn't find this woman. She wasn't even at home. I don't know what the story was. I made a rule. 1 flake falls out from that sky, do not even come to class. 1 flake. Then I had a nickname, 1 flake Lemire. That's what they would call me. But people, they can make it more miserable, because you got your own job, and you're actually babysitting their kids and teaching them an art.
Right.
You're teaching them an art.
So I'll share this one story with you quickly. My son would be out. We had a basketball hoop out in my neighborhood.
Right.
Every day he was out there shooting. So this little boy would stop by, and he would shoot with Kyle. Came friends with my son. And I went outside. I watched him. He made 10 free throws in a row. And this kid, my son was probably 6th grade. He was like 3rd grade. Wow. And I said, wow, this kid is good.
Yeah.
So I went and talked to him. I said, hey, what's your name? And he said, Kevin. And I said, oh, hi, Kevin. Nice to meet you. I go, do you live in the neighborhood? He's like, yeah, down the street. So I said, okay. So a few weeks go by. Kevin's out there shooting with my son. Same thing. He's making everything.
He's dropping these things. Yeah.
Dropping. It's crazy. I'm like, I've never seen. This is ridiculous. I said, Kevin, where are your parents? Can I talk to your parents? And they're like, yeah. So he takes me down to their house. So I ring the doorbell, and I talk to him. His name's King. His name's Kevin Ajiman is the person I'm talking about. So I talked to King, and I go, your son really needs to be playing travel basketball. He's got a God-given talent. He's one of the best I've seen ever in my life at his age. He said, well, I'd love to do that, but I said, my wife and I work 2 jobs. We don't have the money, and 2, I don't have the time to get him to practices. I go, if I can, 1, get you the money, and 2, get you rides. Yeah. Get him rides to practices and games. Would you consider it? He said, sure. Wow. So I went to the board. I said, I have this kid. It's the basketball season's coming up, but this is where we need help. So we build a scholarship for him. And then his coach at the time is Ed Lucier. Right. He's a teacher in Methuen. Right. Yeah. He said, I'll pick him up. If he's this good, as good as you say he is, I'll pick him up every day, and I'll take him to practice. So he went to practice. He says, "Gordy, you're right. He's as good as you said he was." And I go, "Well, if you need help, I can." I go, he lives
right next door to you.
Yeah, down the street from me, so I can pick him up. So long story short, Kevin's a star at Drake High School. He goes to Roxbury Community College because his parents, again, didn't have a lot of money.
Right, yeah.
So he gets a scholarship. Coach Hale was once the head coach at the varsity coach at Drake. He moved to Roxbury Community College, recruited Kevin. Kevin was all whatever they call NCAA Junior AA Player of the Year for Massachusetts. Then he got recruited, and he's got a full scholarship to college. He's going right now, New England College.
Wow, isn't that
basketball?
Cool? Wow, good for him and good for you.
Isn't that a cool story?
And the years went by fast.
And a couple years ago, I actually did the clock at Roxbury Community College.
Wow.
And because they start early, like in September.
Right.
And I went to every one of his games, and every time he sees me, he hugs me. He hugs me. Of course. Thanks me. Yep.
Wow, that's a great story, Cody. Yep. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
so that's why you ask why you do it.
Oh, I know why you do it.
That's the reason.
And the thing is, as you get older, you start getting a little, and then you've gone through that your whole thing with the prostate. You get tired.
Yep.
And all of a sudden you're saying, wow, I don't remember getting this tired. You got to sleep.
Yeah,
but
it
doesn't seem like you're getting enough sleep. And then you got to do it again. Yep. But as you're doing it, you get an energy. Yep. Am I right?
Yes.
You're getting the energy at that moment. When it's done, oh, my God. The ride
How
home.
am I doing this?
I got to go to work tomorrow. I got a job. Yeah. Right. It's funny.
But then when it's over, you look back and say, you know what? I'm kind of glad I did it.
Yeah. You're really glad you did it.
But in the moment, you're like mumbling under your breath. Why in the hell am I doing this?
Because you're tired, and you. As I say, you have a wife, you have a home, you have your job. Now you're coaching. You got things you got to do.
Yep.
Wow. I mean, it's a lot for one person, and it's every day. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum.
Yep.
Yeah. And now I'm telling you,
it's a commitment. It's a commitment.
Now I'm telling you to do another show at DAVT. But and I'm always writing. I'm always writing stories about what I've done in my life and stuff. You could write yourself if you sat down in a matter of months. You could have a book. On stories, on good stories, or on just things you've done, and
maybe when I retire from work, when I have time to do that.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. I retired. I retired 5-6 years ago, fully retired. They called me back to work. I work about 3 hours now, and now I'm working 3 days a week. I semi-retired at 30 hours a week. 30 hours is almost 40.
Right.
So I ain't retired, but I got 4 days. Boy, those 4 days, and now I'm working. I'm doing as much work as I was able to. But yourself, you're going to find things to do.
Yep.
So after I don't want to get too far involved with it, but I didn't know you got that prostate thing.
Yeah.
How long did that last you?
Well, once I found out, it was a funny story. I went in because
there's nothing funny about that. Holy Jesus!
My PSA level was high. That's how I caught it. Regular blood tests. I go to the doctor every year, and they said, you got to get, check this out. So I went in. And I ended up having a kidney stone. Yeah. So then I had checkups after that. My PSA level went up. So the funny story is I go to I've never had a urologist before because no need to. I was young enough that I didn't need to do that yet. So they said, okay, here's your urologist name. I said, okay. So I go see her, and it was a woman.
Yeah.
So I go in the office. Okay, we need to do a test. So she does the test, and my PSA level, the normal is 4 or below. Mine was 10.3.
Whoa.
And a PSA of 10 means there's a lot of cancer antigen in your blood, which isn't good. Yeah. So the doctor comes in, and she must have just graduated college. Yeah. So she walks in with a piece of paper. Her hands are shaking.
Oh, no.
I can hear the paper going from her shaking. And I said, oh, get this poor girl. And I go, so she sits down and she kind of looks at me. She doesn't, I can see her that she's nervous. Yeah. She doesn't know what to say. I said, based on how you walked in, I think the news is not good. And then she said, well, and then then that kind of
Yeah,
opened
yeah.
up the conversation. And then, so yeah, that's how it came about. And then as soon as I found out, I went in for a scan, MRI scan, and it showed that there was some cancer cells on my prostate. And then they actually did a biopsy to confirm it. So once that came in, I knew right away. I said, I'm taking it out.
Oh, you had it taken right out.
Taken right out. As soon as the doctor said, what do you want to do? And I said, I'm taking it out.
Right.
He goes, well, when do you want to do it? I said, how about Thursday? You open?
Yeah.
So I did it right. I acted
Right.
immediately.
Wow.
So when they took it out, they send it in, and then it comes, they do a test
Right.
on it. And mine was 25% cancerous. So they said, my doctor said it was lucky that you took it out when you did, because it was growing faster than we.
Why would they do any other way if they can take it out?
There's they can implant seeds, radioactive seeds that go on where the cancer is located, and it can kill the cancer cells. And then, so you can do that, and then you have the ability to still have children.
All right, yeah.
Without a prostate, I can't have children anymore.
Right.
But I looked at my wife. She goes, "We're done. We're done." Anyway.
But yeah, what made you decide? You did homework, or you
yeah,
just said,
I said I don't want it. I don't want it in my body. That just take it out.
Right. Because I've had another, and he's Wayne Grenier. I don't know if you saw he was on my show. He's world holder on powerlifting.
Oh wow!
And he's had the same thing. He said, take it out.
Take
it out, and right.
Yep.
And he goes, best thing in the world. He goes, I wasn't feeling sorry for myself. I'll take it out. And I said, wow. And he's in his 70s now and stuff. Still breaking records, breaking world records. I've had him on the show twice.
Yeah, I feel great. So
when was this? How many years ago?
it was in. So it got confirmed in March, and I had the surgery in April.
Last
No,
year?
2022. I think.
Okay, so a couple of years ago.
It's been 2 years. This will be April. Will be 2 years.
Okay. Because you still were on the.
Oh yeah, I kept going.
You kept going. That's the best thing in the world, right?
I was out of work for 6 weeks.
Right.
So I had 6 weeks to.
Was it a recuperation period, or once?
Yeah,
they
the
took
first
it out,
week is tough. The first week
Yeah.
was tough because you have a bag that you walk around.
No, I know. I don't know. What am I saying? I know.
But
How
the
did they know they
catheter
took it
was
all?
bad.
We've got it all.
Yeah, yep. So they send
is
it out.
that nice.
They send it out, and then they do basically a biopsy on the
Right.
whole thing.
They get you on a restricted diet now? Or?
No. So I just go in every 6 months now for a checkup.
Right.
And it's been zero every.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Now, how's your diet? Because you look like you're always in good shape. You always,
No, I gained a lot of weight.
Maybe that's good though. I mean, sometimes you want to.
I was before the cancer. I was up at 240.
That's a lot for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So I'm at 215 now. So I just you know what I did is I took L-glutamine.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've seen those diet pills that they try to sell you.
Yeah.
If you look on the back, it says the main ingredients L-glutamine. It's just
Suppresses your.
no. What it does is it's called. If you look it up, it's leaky gut. So when you get older like us, Bob,
Yeah.
all the stuff that you eat
Right.
with small microscopic holes in the stomach lining.
Okay.
So you take this L-glutamine and it fills those holes.
Right.
So what happens is when you eat food, all that stuff comes out your stomach lining,
Right.
goes outside your stomach, and your body needs to do something with it.
Right.
So all the good critters in your body
Right.
grab that stuff and store it as fat. So that's what was happening is I had a leaky gut, so I just take that
Wow.
every day,
Yeah.
and it fills up your stomach lining, and then your stuff just
I'm
naturally
gonna
goes
do
up.
some homework on that. That's
Yeah, it's
well.
pretty cool.
I take probiotics and prebiotics.
Yep, that's
boy,
good
is
too.
that nice.
Yep.
I love it. I'm hooked on it, and it's good for you.
Yep.
And I take the gummies, so they're good. And I chew them, and next day I'm like, thank God I take this stuff because
And
I like eating what I like.
It's so weird though if you look up the stuff that just the natural ingredients
Yeah.
in the world can, like I used to get bad gout, like when I ref, I get gout. I couldn't even walk. That's how bad it was. And then I just took cherry extract. 3 days gone.
Imagine. Yeah. So and
The
thing is-
supplements are just crazy. Like you can look up the supplement for anything, and
And you don't have to
there.
go to the library.
Yep.
Today's phone,
The
you
internet
you
is
should be
great.
able to hear yourself on today's phone. I know you can't believe everything you see,
Right.
Because a lot of it's quacky and people. But you do some homework and
Yep.
you Google. All right, what do I do for this? And you're going to get some good advice.
And I'm like, what's the worst? Okay, I take cherry extract. What's the worst that can happen?
Well, most of your remedies, natural remedies that we can. That we just if
Right.
you know
And every one that I've done is worked.
there you go.
Every single one.
And to me, a lot is in your mind that you want it to work. Like right now, in the last 3 or 4 years, I've been into acupressure because as I'm 68 years old and Taekwondo my whole life, my body's aching, and I go to chiropractors. But what'll hurt me here and there because of knees or whatever, I touch a spot on my body from acupressure, and that pain's gone.
That's crazy, isn't it?
And I'm skeptic when it comes to that. But my knee hurts me from working a day, and I do a lot of walking at work, and there's a spot right here on your arm. You're pressing this spot. Within 30 seconds, that pain is completely gone.
Oh, that's crazy.
Now, people going, well, is that a placebo? Is it a placebo? I don't care.
I don't care. As long as the pain goes away.
The pain goes away. So I'm
Right.
so into it. Because now if that works, anything with my back, my neck, and blah, 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 and then I go to chiropractic and stuff, that's all natural.
Yep.
And you're not taking, because I could take Motrin like candy if I want. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
It does work.
Yep.
Nothing against them because I still take them once in a while, but nothing like I used to because then there's the side effects.
Right.
You know.
So other than something else sports related that I just started recently is I started a new website.
Oh, wow.
Yep. It's called youworkhard.com.
Youworkhard.com.
Yep.
You work hard.
And it's about sports betting.
Uh-oh.
So I got a little side hustle I'm doing. I started, so.
Uh-oh. You got mine because I'm a DraftKings nut.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
So I told my wife about it. I was doing some, because I'm an IT guy, so I like to figure out how things work and why things work the ways they do. So I'm basically pulling data in from all the, right now it's NHL and NBA, right? Or
How about Match Madness? Can you hook me up there?
Well, I haven't got, I do a lot of the prop betting.
Okay, yeah.
So I showed my wife the data, and she's like, well, this looks good. But she goes, if it's so good, why don't you just start with $20 instead of $200?
Okay, all right.
And then if it's guaranteed to work,
No,
then
$20 to what? What do you?
I'm at $400 now.
Where?
I just do DraftKings.
Oh, so that's what I'm saying. DraftKings. All right.
And I have a winning strategy my strategy that I've used.
Right.
So I started at $20. I did $1, one bet a day, $1.
Yeah.
So I started with a $1 bet,
Okay.
and I worked all the way up to
Don't get me going. We'll get our own DraftKings sports show going.
I know we should.
Oh my, I love
that.
it. And I'm into the golf. So, and I'm not going to. What are you doing? You showing people how to bet? You're giving them your strategy?
Strategy, and I give you the data. So which prop bets to play for free.
For free?
For free.
But it's on, you can get...
Just go to website youworkhard.com.
Why don't you get a YouTube channel? And,
That's what I was thinking about doing that, but I want to automate it. So it does daily.
You need to retire and get
I
no more coaching. No more coaching. No more reffing.
No, but it's working out. I'm making a little bit of money.
Oh, it's so much fun too.
Yeah.
As long as you're not breaking the bank.
And so I set limits. So I'm up to $400 now. So my max bet per day is $20.
Yeah.
So
there you go. How do you beat? And you're almost going to break even. I've been doing DraftKings for 5 years now, and I do a lot of golf. And I know the golfers well, although there's lot of new golfers, so they're killing me because I play with my heart. I play with the Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, and they'll break my heart every time, plus the bank. But anyway, I know what their stats are, like what you're doing there, and I do well in golf. Don't do that well in football at all, and I've been playing that for a long time.
Yep. But like with any sport, you have your favorite players, but I don't let that. I just do whatever the computer tells me to do.
Right.
It's just.
I got to go on that. Say it again. What is it?
Youworkhard.com.
You work hard.
Why did I pick that name? I don't know. I just.
Because you work hard.
Right. I work hard at.
Youworkhard.com. Good. Maybe you're going to get some. Because if between either podcasts, YouTubes, whatever, you can have your own following.
Yep.
And everyone's betting.
And I have a Google advertisement on that, so I make a few bucks.
Oh, that's cool.
That's how I.
Yeah.
That's where I make a few bucks.
Good for you. Well, you got that IT experience.
But yeah, so it's been working great. I've been doing it for 3 months. Yeah, I've only won $380, but
that's basketball, just basketball now, or
and NHL.
Oh, and NHL. But you watch those games with a passion.
No, I don't even watch.
Oh
it.
no,
I just wake up in the morning. How much did I make? Okay.
Because the golf. No, the golf's on right now, and I was doing. You got 4 days, and my team's doing well. This is this week. I just told my wife, I'm doing great. one of the guys withdrew. One of my golfers. You get six golfers, 8 golfers, whatever they're going to give you. He withdrew. Everyone else is doing good. Now I just lost all those points in that time. So it can be a heartbreaker.
The secret to NHL is you want to do under on assists. That's the secret.
Right.
That's what I learned.
Right.
In NBA, it's the blocks are really good, but that's just stats. So basically, how it works is if you got a guy that's played the last 20 games and hasn't had a block in any 20 games, and you were to bet in game 21, would you say he's gonna get a block or he's not gonna get?
They even bet on that.
Yep.
Wow.
That's what I bet on. So points, assists, rebounds.
And so now you're giving advice.
I just give you the data.
But
so
that's
it's raw data. So I have a pick sheet that says here's the best picks for today.
And now
it's been 80%. It's been hitting at 80%.
I was just going to ask you that. You got a flow chart on 80%.
It's pretty good.
Wow.
Yep.
That is phenomenal. Well, maybe people that's cool. I'm gonna check that out.
But it's good. I mean, if you don't believe it, you bet $1. And if it wins, if it works, then great. If not, you only lost.
They have bets all the way down to 25 cents.
Yeah.
25 cents.
If you don't feel comfortable with $1, bet 10 cents, 25 cents.
And for 25 cents, you can win $5,000,
right?
Or in that bracket of money.
Yep.
And like I'll bet $3 for $3 million bets. I got this 3 million people out there betting too.
Right.
But I'm just picking 6 guys, and it's like picking a lottery.
Right.
But now all of a sudden, all 6 of them made the cut.
Well, that's what I mean. To me, it's like playing the lottery. You pick 6 numbers in the lottery, right? You pick 6, like you said, you pick 6 guys.
Yeah.
And to me, at least you have some
knowledge
of each player,
what
like
they've done, right? But then you're playing against other people also who I would say 95% of them have no knowledge. They're just going, I like Tiger Woods. Quick pick. But then again, when you watch the game, it's so much more fun. There's my guy.
Even though you're betting $1,
it don't matter.
It doesn't matter
because he's got the ball. All right, now I got. All right, get the assist. And you once he gets it, you're screaming like it's a Super Bowl.
And my wife's biggest concern was she didn't want me to get addicted.
No, and you are
because when I was younger, when I first moved out from the Midwest out here, I had a little bit of a problem with dog racing. Let's just say.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
So, I lost a lot of money.
Yeah. But you won once in a while.
You'd win. That's what would hook you. It's it was like a drug, you know. But so she didn't want me to get addicted. I said it's a business. It's no brain. It's just
I know.
Read the list of the people to play, and you put it in the bet. And
at 80%,
it's good.
How long have you been doing this now?
A couple months.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
So I have guys at work that are using it. They're up they go crazy.
I'm gonna check it out. Yeah.
They bet like $60 a thing, and they're winning like crazy.
You gonna do any football or golf? Maybe do some golf? No.
I could.
Or is
maybe
that too much work?
No, I could do the golf too. It's just pulling the data in.
Yeah.
Because
that's what I'm kind of using is the data that they give you, because they give you kind of data.
Yep.
On what their points have been over the last 28 games. And that's a big deal.
But the thing is some of the data doesn't work. Like in NHL, if you bet shots on goal,
how are we going to know?
You might as well just throw
No.
Because the last 5 games, they might have had no shots on goal, and then the next game they get 5 shots on goal. So it's crazy. But most of it is like the assists are like if you just look at an NHL game and just look at the box score.
Yeah.
Look at how many assists there are in the game. Not many.
Okay.
Because it's usually a guy will get a steal
bang.
And they score 1 goal.
Right.
And it was a steal. He got a steal and just did open,
so
whatever.
Assists, yeah. So you're looking for the puck handler who's a nice guy that's going to.
But you never bet the over. Never bet over in hockey.
Really?
Never bet the over. Always under.
I've never bet hockey. I've never bet hockey. I've bet everything else.
Look at the scores. What are the scores? 4-1.
Yeah, they're
4-2.
nothing. Yeah.
So there's not a lot of scoring. So you never, generally speaking, you want to bet under on hockey.
Right. Yeah. But in like you bet with your heart. 90% of people will bet with their heart.
And a lot of people bet over on no matter what.
Really?
They do. If you ask people, they don't like to play unders. I like unders because what happens if the guy plays the game? Yeah. The first quarter he gets hurt. Comes out of the game. He's not going to score.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot of things that can happen. And DraftKings been pretty good about that, though. If they go out as injury, they just cancel the bet. So they've been
really?
they changed their rules on that. So
But they didn't change it. My wife was just saying that my guy withdrew. They're not giving me a break. I says, wait a minute. Yeah, give me another guy.
Well, I had Darius Garland the other day for Cleveland. He went in for like 1 minute, got hurt, and came out of the game.
Yeah.
Didn't score, nothing. And then they canceled the bet. Even though I took under,
Right.
I should have won because he entered the game.
Oh, so it can
But they
work
just
against you.
canceled.
It can work against you.
If you play over, but they changed it now. They don't do that anymore. So I guess it's the fair way to do it.
They're doing well. DraftKings.
I bet you.
And they're still not in all the states. They got to know which state you're coming from.
Yep.
And like I say, I could put $50, all right, in the bank in DraftKings. I could have that for 6 months.
Right.
I mean, that's how little
I started with 20.
Yeah.
And I have 400. So
yeah. And I found myself dropping 25 here and 25 there because Super Bowl's coming. I'm making a lot of bets. I'm going all around it.
And they give you the free bets, so I use those. Use those.
I use all the free bets.
Yeah.
The free pools.
Yeah.
And I haven't done anything with them, but I
haven't won, but
no. Hey,
still.
Free is free.
Yep.
And the money's good.
Yeah, and if you use my site, use those. I do the daily same game parlay insurance, and I haven't lost yet.
Wow.
Because if you get 2 out of 3, you get your money back.
My son,
so I've hit every single one.
See, my son and my son-in-law love the parlaying, and they love all that.
That's what I'm
gonna hook them up with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hook up with you.
Just show them the website.
The website. Well, again, what is it? It's
youworkhard.com.
Youworkhard.com. Okay.
And I also have KenoMaster.com for those that play Keno.
Really? On how to play Keno.
Yep. And it shows you all the numbers, which numbers have come up.
Wow.
The patterns that happen.
And that's your IT expertise.
Yep.
Well, good. You should be retiring soon, huh?
Yeah.
But you'll never retire. You got too much going on.
Got too much going on.
You'll retire and be busier. We will be busier.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And have some. Are you working out? You're doing a lot of. You look like you're working out. No, you don't gym.
No, I'll start going to the gym again because basketball's over with my wife. But I just do the treadmill. That's it.
Okay. You're looking in good shape. You're in good shape.
Thank
you. Because I go down here to Planet Fitness. Wow, what a goal of mine that
is.
I love it.
It's always packed in there, but.
Well, it depends when you go, but this is a smaller one compared to the big ones.
My wife loves Tewksbury now. She said that one's really
Londonderry.
nice.
They're all big.
Salem is really nice.
They're beautiful. And they're saying this is one of the smallest one. This one doesn't bother. My problem is I've been from the Drake and Lowell.
It's so close, convenient. Yeah.
Oh, I can walk there from my house.
Yeah.
The problem is I know everybody there, and you try to get through a workout with 18 conversations.
Right.
I keep my head down. And I got my phone. I just got to get the work in, get it out. Cody, that's about all the time. That was a quick hour, my friend.
Yeah,
we're going to do this again. Can we do it again?
Sure.
Yeah, because
it's fun.
Yeah, we could go in 1,000 directions with you. Yeah. And
we should do another one with sports betting. We'll break it. We'll really get down to.
I'm in with you.
We should do it.
I'm with because I've been doing golf so long that I've got a little.
I'll have to work on that. That's my homework. To take out of here.
But I'm only going by with this stats. I'm only for the golf.
Well, I'll pull some stats in for you to look at.
And then do it. Because like I say, anything that helps.
Right.
Anything that helps.
Gives you an advantage. Anything that gives
just
you
a little advantage. You know. Like March Madness. It's too bad you can't hurry up and put something together for March.
Yeah, I haven't looked into doing the games yet, but there is, the props are easier, I think. But like, I bet a little bit of hockey, like the Bruins. I took money line last night because against Montreal, they've been doing well. Yeah. Montreal's not very good, but they won, but it was overtime.
Yeah.
So yeah, the games are a little harder, and nothing's guaranteed, right? It's a bet. So like, but I'm just saying, like I told my wife, if Tyson was fighting, what was the guy's name? The boxer there, the guy from McNally.
Yeah.
I said, would you bet? If you had to bet $100, would you take Tyson or McNally? Right. Of course, you're going to take Tyson because you know that.
There you go. But the odds are going to be much less for you.
Right,
2 to 1 for 10 to 1.
Yeah, right.
So maybe you go 10 to 1.
So you have to. It's called enterprise value, expected value.
Expected value.
What's the risk versus the reward?
Oh basically. Yeah. Let's say with horse racing and dog racing and stuff.
Yeah.
It's what you want to get out of that. You want to go big, or you want to just say, I just hang. Gordy, that's it. We're gonna do it again. Maybe we'll have a little DraftKings thing.
Right, we should.
Even if it's a half hour.
Yep.
I can do my homework and you do your homework because believe me, I love it. And your golf, I mean your hockey and basketball seem like to be a big niche.
Baseball will be coming up soon too.
Yeah, and that might be a little easier, no? I think baseball with a pitcher, good
Player prop bets.
Who knows? But I love the football and I love the golf. To
Yep.
me, the golf is just so like I'll spend hours just on my phone or doing my thing.
That's why
watching
you
golf.
work hard. It does all that work for you.
You work hard. Yeah, I love it. So remember that, everyone. You work hard. Google that if you're into the DraftKings. I'm going to check it out when I get home. If you want to watch this show, it's on YouTube. It's on datv.org. It's on Spotify, any podcast. Merrimack Valley Public Radio is running these shows also. So you can tune in, and there's a couple of times each week that these shows are on. Gordy, it's been a pleasure. We're going to do it again, my friend. We're going to do it again.
Good.
I hope you enjoyed the show. Till next time, have fun and train hard.